Good evening, everyone. Joel here with your tropical update. Today, of course, Wednesday, the 26th of August, 2020. Laura. Winds 140 miles per hour, as many of you may know now. The minimum central pressure is 952 millibars. If you're tracking 27.3 north, 92.5 west, Laura is moving northwest at 16 miles per hour. I've told you guys for days another system was going to show up. Well, here it is. It actually showed up a little sooner than I thought the National Hurricane Center would put it out, but I guess they're realizing these storms aren't going to stop now. This is disturbance number 1 that looks low right now. It's a westward moving tropical wave. It's expected to move off the west coast of Africa tonight, although environmental conditions do not appear to be conducive for development as the wave crosses the eastern Atlantic over the next few days. The conditions could become more favorable for slow development of this system as it reaches the central and western tropical Atlantic early next week. National Hurricane Center, 2 days 0, 5 days 20%. I'm telling you folks, it does have a chance to develop further and strengthen more than what it's showing right now. I'm not saying it's going to, so don't say I said this is going to be a big bad hurricane. I'm just telling you I think it will strengthen more. And behind it, there will be 2 more that is going to show up. This is very important about power outages, the potential power outages with Hurricane Laura. Lake Charles area, all in these areas, Cameroon, Port Arthur, all of these areas that are purple. It's going to be very, very devastating. I doubt there's hardly any power anywhere in that area, if you want to know the truth about it. Now in the red, the power outages are likely all the way up, as you can see, Shreveport. Moving on up into the very southern portions of Arkansas, coming down into the areas of Texas in these areas here. Now, where are they possible as the storm tracks along the next couple of days? Well, they're possible as it comes in to start with in Houston, Trinity, moving on up to Little Rock and even Memphis, Tennessee, and western Tennessee. Very possible you could not have power for a while. And of course, when it comes in tonight down in Morgan City, all of this area. The orange is the possible areas, the red is the likely areas, the purple is it's going to happen, folks. And I don't know when you'll get any electricity back. Don't expect it to come on in a week, 2 weeks. It may be a month or more before some of these areas have any electricity. As we look at the wave heights that Laura's picking up now, you can see this is feet, measured in feet for the waves. As I'll put this down just a little bit so you can see for yourself. It has waves that are 42 feet high. Can you believe that? 42 feet high waves that are being generated in Laura at this time. Some are 18, some are 12. Of course, as you go to the outer bands of the storm, they do get smaller from 9, maybe 6, as you can see. When this comes in, these waves can possibly be, I'd say, anywhere from 38 to 40 feet high when it comes in land. Right now, they're up to 42. As we look at the satellite right quickly, here is Laura. See how well she is formed. Now, I talked about possibility of a little bit of shear wind up here. It tore Marco all to pieces. Marco was a little teeny baby system compared to what's going on. It'll come back, folks, compared to what's going on with Laura. Now, Laura, you can tell there's no shear in it. Why? Because this is all weld together here. Circular formation. No raggedness at all. There's nothing ragged about this. That's how you know shear wind isn't bothering it at all. That's how you know. If you just look at the picture, you don't have to be a meteorologist to know about the lows, the troughs, the highs, the this, the that, and all the baroclinical waves, none of that stuff. Just look at the picture. You can see nothing is bothering it at this time. Nothing. Now, if I move it up some, there is something I want to point out later on as it gets closer and closer. If it will move up, let's see if it'll move up. It may not. Here we go. I'll try to stop it right when it gets to the exact point I wanted at. And it's almost there. Hopefully it won't go away before I get to show you what I want to show you. And it did. I've got it where I want it now, and I just stopped it, okay? As Laura keeps spinning around and getting closer and closer, you see these cloud tops here, and you see this wind field in the orange, and the cloud tops are the darker. Well, what's going to happen is when this moves through, this is going to spread more like a longer system tail, kind of. That's what I call it. I don't know what the weather name is for it, but I'm just telling you it's going to spread. And when it does, it's going to, this is where it's going to really make tornadoes make up. Whatever's left in this area as it spins around and moves on northward, this is where tornadoes are. This is the part that's going to make tornadoes come up as it moves northward and spins around. So I wanted to point that out to you. Now you see the system over here coming off the coast of Africa. If you noticed on the National Hurricane Center map that they had there, it was further over here. Well, that's because this is just a wave at the moment, but it will make up into a low pressure when it gets over here, and then the next thing is a tropical depression, as it's going to go probably over the northern islands. Too far ahead to tell at the moment. I will keep you posted. Here is the latest tracking map from the National Hurricane Center. Laura will hit as a major storm when it comes inland. We all know this. No need to talk about this anymore. The woulda, coulda, shoulda moment is over. People are already starting to see some wind gusts pick up, and the rain and thunderstorms are starting to happen. So, I just hope everybody in this area between Port Arthur and Cameron, Louisiana, and Texas, I hope all of you guys have left. I hope you're somewhere safe. The National Hurricane Center is not putting out any more audio advisories or updates at this time. It's time now to watch and see exactly what happens and exactly where it does come in. Now, if you're going to be east of the eye, you'll know it, but it won't be as bad. If you're going to be over on the western side, you're going to catch it. I can't put it any simpler than that. You can see how this moves on up into a tropical depression with rain and wind gusts all the way through portions of northern Arkansas. Right in here. Very southern Illinois. You're going to feel some of it. Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, even parts of West Virginia. Now, no, it's not going to be like a hurricane, but you could have some pretty good winds come up. And as I've just showed you on the power outage likely map, all of these areas you have a good chance of the wind making you not have power. So please, take heed to that. Now is the time. Gas is going to go up. You see where this is coming in. It's going to affect the oil refineries, folks. if you do have a generator, it's time to get it. It's time to clean it up if you haven't used it in a while. And it's time to make sure it runs properly and you have gas for it. It's no fun. I'm telling you, I've lived without electricity for a month. You can do it. But it actually, by the time the end of a month comes, you don't even think like you used to. It gets your whole body out of whack. So, you know, if you have a gas generator and you're planning on using it, make sure you got enough gas to get you through for a extended period of time, or at least some time until you can make other provisions to get somewhere there is electricity. You may have one of these automatic generators that run off of propane gas. Well, if you are in these areas right in here, while it is still a hurricane, it may run out. They may not be able to get you any. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying I've seen this stuff happen before. So pay attention. Make sure you got medical supplies up for everybody in the path of this storm. Make sure you've got your important papers together. Make sure you got them in a Ziploc waterproof bag in case you have to pick them up and leave. For you folks up in these areas now, looking like, of course, it won't be as bad as it's going to be down in here. But I'm just telling you, people in the northern section here of Louisiana and Texas, you're going to feel the stuff too. You're just not going to get it quite as bad, maybe, but you're going to get it bad enough. But all the way up into Arkansas, all these places, you see what it's looking like and the strength of it. And this cone is extended now, and this map looks pretty good as to what's going to happen from the models that I have looked at. Now, it's going to weaken and weaken, but look, it's going to go over Boston, Massachusetts is in the cone, Long Island, New Jersey, Delaware, a lot of Virginia, going all the way up into Canada. So, you see it. Don't be surprised if you get some really bad thunderstorms and some gusty winds out of this storm, because once it gets up and gets out, it looks like it's going to regenerate again into a big nasty hurricane. If you haven't subscribed and you're into the weather, whether it be tropical storms or hurricanes or just weather in general, wintertime weather or any kind of weather, please click subscribe. Click that bell and make sure that all is checked off. If you don't make sure all is checked off, you won't receive all of my videos. Make sure that's done. And you should receive all of my videos as I put them out. I would greatly appreciate it, and I thank everyone who has subscribed to me. Looking at the rain, my goodness gracious, where you see this red coming in when it comes on shore here. That's around anywhere from 10 to 15 inches of rain everywhere in the brown. 6 to 10 inches, more on the higher side than the lower side. More on the higher side than the lower side of 6 to 10 inches. Now, when it turns into the yellow, that's about 4 to 6 inches. And this is just an approximate put together calculated thing. Could be a little more in some areas, could be a little less. Looking like at least 2 to 4 inches of rain is going to go up into Tennessee, with 4 to 6 in some parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. The other areas with 2 to 4 inches of rain as it moves in and moves on out. And over in Delaware, this is when it's going to pick up again when it hits some of these waters, and you can see you have a good chance of more rain out of this system. So, please be aware of this. Please click show more. I'm not going to talk anymore. We know the deal, folks. Okay? It's just a matter of exactly where it comes in. And, of course, it may bounce around a little bit here or there. Okay? But we know the deal. Click show more. I will put up the watches and warnings. and I will put up all the latest information that is possible to have at this time on the different areas of concern. Now, I can't put up every place and every state, but I will put up the prominent ones that are in the path of this storm and as it moves up. We can't get over to all of these now. We can't. So, just forget about that. It's not going to happen. We got to wait till it comes in and then see what happens. I love you so much. I pray for you guys down here. I hope nobody is staying anywhere in these areas. Nowhere. I talked about the storm surge this morning. I wasn't exaggerating. And Lord and behold, I posted up that audio podcast from the National Hurricane Center after I said the things I said, and the storm surge was exactly like I said it would be. 30 to 50 miles inland, deep as a basketball goal is high. It's a mess, folks. It's a catastrophe. Please stay safe. My prayers are with everyone. Peace, love, and kindness to each and every one of you. Thank you for watching.